Now I know y'all all got to watch the news all afternoon and watch all them tornadoes and the high wind and stuff. But let me tell you what really happened. I was out there running around, doing my mowing and weed eating and stuff, and I was riding my John Deere tractor. And I'd mind my own business going round and around, and well, like you do on a tractor, you go round. And all of a sudden, it was like a big old BNF freight train was coming over the roof of the house. And by God, I had to get out of there. And I didn't want to mess up my tractor, and I didn't want to leave it out in the rain, so I just rode that thing just as fast. It'll go every bit of maybe 3 mile an hour. And I had to run back twice to pick up my supplies and it almost got me. It almost got me, but it sounded like I say on the news sometimes, they say it sounded just like a daggone freight train. Of course, it really ain't a freight train. It's more like a whole lot of wind. And I was hurrying. I wasn't scared. I just didn't want to mess up my lawnmower. And my wife told me, she said, this is the last one you get. And if you leave this one out in the rain or if something happens to it, you don't get nothing. You won't ever get another. And so I made sure I got it to the barn and I put my weed eaters up and I went and I pinned up the dog. And those little two pigs out there, they just going to have to fend for themselves. And I guess if something happens to them, we'll have a big ham roast for dinner on Sunday. But I think they're going to be all right. But I went in and I watched the news, and when the electricity come on, that is, it come back on about 30 minutes later. And I watched the news and I watched the weather, and nothing ever came on the news about where I was at. But there's some big old trees laying out there in that field. I'm gonna get out there and cut them up tomorrow, the next day, and then I'm gonna have one big old bowl sale. I'm gonna make some bowls out of that old wood. Them trees. I don't want them to go to total waste. But let me tell you, when they tell you on the news and on the weather, because they will, they'll tell you like 1,600 damn times that there's some bad weather out there, because they figure one time ain't nearly enough. But when they tell you to go duck and cover, you better go duck and cover, because sometimes, one out of maybe 10, 15 times, they might get one right. And you sure don't want your cows to blow away, and you got to get the laundry in off of the line. And man, I wish my wife had been home when all this happened, so I wouldn't have to put all this stuff up. I could just come in and send her out there to pick up all that stuff. But what's that, honey? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I know. Okay, I got to go now because she wants me to go over there and fold the rest of the clothes that I brought in. She said if I brought them in, I must put them up. So y'all take care now, and I hope your house didn't blow away. But that's a true thing of what happened to me today. And if it ever happens again, I guess I'll come back on here and tell you more about it. Y'all have a nice afternoon. I hope your house didn't blow away, and I hope everything's all right where you're living. Y'all take care now.